Some weeks you feel unstoppable. Your food's dialed in, your training is on point, you're becoming the person that you want to become. And then the next week, you can't even be bothered to put your shoes on. Let me say something that most people won't say to you. You are not lazy. You are overloaded. You are not inconsistent. Your system is inconsistent. And today, I'm going to show you how to fix that. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple structure that you can follow to be able to get you from where you are right now, unstick yourself, and to where you want to be without fail every single time. Most people think consistency means showing up every single day. Perfect routines, perfect energy, perfect systems, perfect discipline. But the thing is, that isn't consistency. That is just a wishful fantasy. Nobody's life is like that. Nobody's life is perfect every single day. When was the last time you had a full week before your life just completely toppled by Wednesday? The real consistency is always just doing something. Whether that is taking what you would normally do and taking it down to something a lot smaller, or switching it out for something that's a little bit less aggressive on your body, or if it's in terms of food, if you go for a takeaway, don't go for the full meal. Take one item out. Even doing something like that keeps you much more on track than blowing up a meal to 1,000 calories when you could just be having 500. Consistency is protecting the momentum that will eventually get you to a point where you want to be, where you are that person you want to be. And that is by taking those small individual steps. If you're a busy person, your consistency needs to look completely different from an influencer that is on YouTube or TikTok. For you, consistency needs to have the flexibility to be able to fit into your lifestyle. That is how you stay consistent, and that is what will work best for you. Here's the thing, what you need to do is you need to define your bare minimum. What does that look like for you? That is an individual by individual basis. For me, as an example, when I started to slip out of Krav because I didn't want to go on the dark nights just to get my ass handed to me, I switched that for something in the same building, but much easier on the body. I switched that for a hot yoga. That kept the building the same place, the time the same place, but all it did was reduced that intensity on my body. That kept my habit alive and kept that consistency alive. You just need to swap it. Or it may be, if you're doing a long run, can you do a shorter run that day? It may be, if you're going out, all of a sudden you're going for like a meal with work clients and stuff like that. Have a look at the menu beforehand. You know what you were already gonna have that day through, like if you're tracking your meals or if you're planning your meals, all you need to do is find something similar in your work meal. For most of my clients, the bare minimum is a 5-minute walk, doing one of the 3 movements. One of my clients most recently, she was unable to stay consistent in the gym because she hadn't built that habit. So what we did was we set her 3 sessions a week, 1 with myself and 2 very short 10-minute sessions. The plan there is to get her into the gym those 3 times, very short sessions. So eventually that becomes her habit. That 10 minutes then turns into a 20-minute session, to a 40-minute session, to a full hour session. That is how you slowly, gradually build up consistency, not expecting the be-all and end-all from minute 1. Tiny actions equals 0 friction equals unlimited possibility. And that is hard for you to fail at. Your bare minimum is keeping that engine idle and without having for it to stop. And that is the first piece of real consistency. Part 2 is building up the tiers. Because let's be honest, you're not waking up with the same energy every single day. Sometimes you're going to be knackered, sometimes you're going to be full of beans and ready for action. You're a busy professional. You have got your high days and your low days. Your Mondays are probably full of life because you've had a great weekend to actually relax, take some time away, have a good proper sleep and de-stress. By Friday, you know you're shattered because you've had 5 full consistent days of stress, lack of like good nutritious food because you're trying to fit everything in, and then using all your evening times to try and make as much out of the evening as possible, which ends up leading to a lack of sleep. That's what you normally do with your life. What I would do on your high energy days is this is where you would put your real 40-minute sessions in. This is where you start to build that consistency, utilize that energy on those high energy days. On your medium days, this is your default. This is your 1 to 3 small, simple sessions. This is your 20 to 30 minute either at home workout or where you give yourself a little bit more of a break, even just going for a walk or just taking your normal session plan that you would do on those days. And rather than working out to like 4 sets, reduce it to a timed number. Do as much as you can in 20 minutes. If you don't get the whole thing done, you've showed up, you've stayed consistent. On your low energy days, this is where everybody fails, but this is where you are no longer going to. All you need to do is the smallest manageable thing, and that is just do not disappear. Your low energy days are your 5-minute plan. coming in the gym for 5 minutes, going on your 5-minute walk, spending 5 minutes cooking something very simple at home. All I need you to do is have at least one high protein meal that day and sleep early if you can. Go to bed that half an hour extra. Low days is where you fail at consistency, because if you just eat your takeaway, you then start that I'll just start again on Monday pattern, which is where you fail, and that pattern begins to recycle. So use your low energy days to stay consistent. You're doing less, but you're still doing something. Your inconsistency isn't a motivation issue, it's a system issue. And here's how busy people can stay consistent. Batch everything. Batch cook for the week. On a Sunday when you're full of much more energy because of that, do all your meal prep for the entire week. Plan your entire week's training days. You know by this point when you're going to fail, when your low energy days are going to be. Start to plan that in ahead of time. That is your first task. Task 2 is creating friction-free training. You know that if you're waking up early in the morning, the last thing you have got time for is starting to pack your gym bag. Prep your gym bag the night before. Get your water bottle ready. Get your shorts ready. Get a spare towel in there ready in case you need to go before the gym, before you work, so you can go into the shower and then straight to work. You want to make this task as friction-free possible as you can, because you don't rise to motivation. You fall if your system isn't in place. Task 3, automate your small wins. Set reminders in your diary. Set your calendar for the week. Every single one of my clients that does this succeeds. This is how I succeeded. This is how you succeed. I have discussed this in a previous video. When I didn't have Krav Maga planned into my diary, it didn't happen. I had to have this planned in order to actually make it happen, because the rest of my week was planned, so therefore everything else succeeded. Do that and you will. And again, this is where you plan your most simple routines. The less thinking that you have to do, the more consistently you will act. Busy people don't need more intensity, they just need less decision making to make during the hard times. The last thing I wanted to do was go out on these new dark winter nights. It's wet, it's cold, it's raining. All I want to do is go home and sit and chill in a comfortable chair. I am 35 years old this year. I have worked so many hours through the week. The last thing I want to do on a night is go and get my ass kicked. But it's something that I want to do. Just like the reason you're watching this video right now is because this is something you need to do to be able to get you to where you want to be. You have to start planning. You have to start making these small little sacrifices to engage and keep consistency alive. Take the big thing, make it smaller until the big thing no longer feels as difficult to get to or as hard to achieve as it once was. You just need that same cue, which is through less friction equals the biggest outcome that you can imagine. Don't break the pattern, just the intensity. If you spend all of your energy beating yourself up because you've missed a workout or you've missed a run or you had a bad nutritious meal, and then we're like, oh, I'll just start again on Monday, or I'll start again next month, or you'll start again in the new year, new me. That guilt is what is compounding, not consistency in training, consistency in food. You're choosing a negative action rather than a positive action to get you to where you want to be. How many times have you restarted? Give yourself some grace, get back in the game, fix it. If you've got 5 sessions planned, but you do 3, that's still 3 days more than what you would have done originally. And then you're winning with that. Consistently is built on progressive positive patterns, not perfect days, not being perfect on every single one of those days. Stop restarting, start structuring. If you feel like this has helped you, please hit subscribe, ring that notification bell, like this video, send it to somebody else that you feel might be able to benefit from having a little bit of an understanding of why you should be more consistent on the positive days and the negative days, and not just on the positive days. It really helps me grow. We're all in this together. Comment below, what is your bare minimum? I will reply to every single one of them. And now go, move.